The Trump administration is escalating its crackdown on free speech on college campuses. This week, they arrested yet another student. That student is Rumeysa Öztürk, a 30-year-old PhD candidate at Tufts University. The surveillance video of the arrest shows federal agents in plain clothes and wearing masks who grabbed and detained the Turkish national, who is here in the United States on a valid student visa. Öztürk's lawyer said the video should, quote, shake everyone to their core. Öztürk has not been accused of any crime. Let's take a look at that video.
This is okay. Okay, it's fine. I'm able to. Okay. Okay. Can I just close the car?
Well, I'm trying to. Okay, you're right. Okay. Okay, with the police.
Okay.
I see some faces here. How do I know this is the police?
Öztürk is currently being held at an ICE detention facility in Louisiana. This morning, a judge ordered the Trump administration to explain why Öztürk was detained. DHS says that she is, quote, engaged in activities in support of Hamas, a foreign terrorist organization. What those activities are entirely unclear. NBC News reports that Öztürk co-authored an opinion essay in the Tufts student newspaper criticizing the university's response to demands that it acknowledge the Palestinian genocide and divest from companies with direct or indirect ties to Israel. This afternoon, Secretary of State Marco Rubio said that Öztürk's visa had been revoked.
We revoked it, and here's why. And I'll say it again. I said it everywhere. Let me be abundantly clear. If you apply for a visa to enter the United States and be a student, and you tell us that the reason why you're coming to the United States is not just because you want to write op-eds, but because you want to participate in movements that are involved in doing things like vandalizing universities, harassing students, taking over buildings, creating a ruckus, we're not going to give you a visa.
Öztürk's shocking arrest comes amid other attempted deportations targeting students who have expressed pro-Palestinian sympathies. This week, a judge ordered the United States to stop attempts to deport Columbia student Yeonseo Chung. Chung sued the Trump administration over its attempts to detain her. Chung is a 21-year-old Columbia undergraduate who participated in anti-war protests. She's also a permanent legal resident who has lived in the United States since the age of 7. As her lawsuit says, quote, ICE's shocking actions against Ms. Chung form part of a larger pattern of attempted U.S. government repression of constitutionally protected protest activity and other forms of speech. Joining me now to discuss all of this is Naz Ahmad, Yeonseo Chung's lawyer, and Jamal Green, a constitutional law expert and professor at Columbia Law School. Naz, thank you for joining us. Can you tell us how your client Yeonseo is doing right now?
She feels so much better. She feels so much relief after the order from Tuesday. And I think she feels like she can meaningfully engage, go back to school, like go to her classes, be with her friends. So a huge weight off her shoulders.
What's next for her and her case against the government?
Right. So the judge issued just a temporary order and, didn't weigh in on the merits of the case, understood that, the government failed to provide any reason why she should be detained pending further proceedings. So, we have legal briefing on enjoining them from, applying this part of the immigration law against her. And so that's going to happen over the next few weeks. An oral argument will happen in May. And so, it remains to be seen.
So there's a longer road ahead for this student. But for now, she is here and safe.
Yes, correct. Absolutely.
Jamal, you saw that shocking video detaining the Tufts University student. What exactly are the administration's legal grounds for detaining her, and what are the due process protections to which she's entitled as a foreign national on a student visa?
So we don't fully know exactly what the theory is. We don't know substantively what they're actually claiming that she's done. We have some circumstantial evidence. She's written this op-ed, so that is protected speech. So that's a problem if that's the reason she's being detained. There is a law that says on its face that under the Immigration and Nationality Act, that the Secretary of State can make a determination that someone is adverse to the foreign policy interests of the United States and can be deemed inadmissible by the Secretary on those grounds. But just because that law exists on the books doesn't mean that every application of that law is necessarily valid or constitutional or legal.
And that's the same law that the government cited with regard to the detention of Mahmoud Khalil.
That's right. And the one time this law has actually been challenged in court, it was declared to be unconstitutional by none other than the sister of the president.
The late Marianne Trump Barry.
The late Marianne Trump Barry in a court decision saying you can't just give someone sort of standardless power to just decide that someone is adverse to the foreign policy interests of the United States. That's a serious due process problem, a serious rule of law problem, and it's an especial problem when you're talking about free speech, which is at issue here.
Can we talk a little bit about the due process concerns here? I mean, like, this is the situation with the individuals who have been detained as Venezuelan gang members. Many of them argue they are not, in fact, Venezuelan gang members. Aren't they supposed to have some opportunity to be able to present evidence of their status and to refute the charges against them from the government? So
with respect to these Venezuelan nationals or accused Venezuelan nationals, we actually don't know a lot about their cases either. The president is claiming to invoke the Alien Enemies Act, which gives power when there's been an actual invasion in wartime to deport people essentially without due process. Here, this is peacetime. The D.C. Circuit in D.C. has decided, there's a court opinion saying, this is not the same thing as a military invasion. And it's really, just stepping back from the kind of legal niceties here. The idea that you can pick someone up off the street and render them to a foreign country, send them to a prison in Louisiana, as in the Khalil case or in the case of Ms. Ozturk, without any opportunity to defend themselves is contrary to the very most basic protections that we associate with the U.S. Constitution.